Come back once again to another class, another tutorial. In this class, I want to show you on how to cut your pencil skirt. So what I have here is my fabric which I want to use to cut my pencil skirt. So this is the wrong part of my fabric and this is the right part. You can see the right part is brighter and the wrong part is not bright. So I have to get your skirt measurements on fold. What you need to do now, because this is on fold now, you can see the one piece and I fold it, which is on fold, give me a two piece. So what I will do now is to divide my hip measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches. So my hip measurement, my hip is 34 divided by 4 give me 8.5 plus 2 inches will give me 10.5. So 10.5, that is what I'm going to bring out here, just like this. So you can see this is 10.5. My 10.5, that's what I'm going to find here, like this. So make sure you iron your fabric. You can see my fabric is rumpled, so let me go off camera, go ahead to iron it, then come back to you. After getting my hip measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches, that is what I have here now. I went ahead to iron it to be straight. So what I will do next is to get to my length of my skirt. So the length of my skirt is 36 and I am going to add 1 inch for sewing allowance to make it 37. So come again here to make it 37 because I want to get a straight line. So after putting my 37 there, come to make sure my lines is very straight. So after I've done that, what I'm going to do now is to get my waist to my hip. So this person is small, so from the waist to our hip is between 7 to 9 inches, so which is 8. So waist to hip is 8, then waist to nail is 18. She is small. Normal waist to hip, waist to nail is 19, but based on this person is small, I make it 18. So after I've done that, what I'm going to do now is to get my waist measurement. So my waist measurement is 27 divided by 4 give me 6.7. So 6.7, that is what I have here. 6.7 plus 1 inch for your dart plus 2 inches for sewing allowance. Altogether gives me 9.7. So after I've gotten my 9.7, my hip here is 10.5. So this is my 10.5 minus 1.5 will give me 9. I'm going to place that 9 here at my nail region. So after I place that 9 here, I come down to the end of my skirt and I place the same 9 here. So what I'm going to do now is to connect my line from this dot to this point, from this point to this point, and from here connect it down to the waist. So let me go ahead to do that. Suppose just no. Then I connect just like this, as I told you, connect to your nail. Then from your nail, connect it down to your hip. Then from the hip, connect down to your waist. Just like this. You can go ahead to create that spot curve like this. So what I do now is to cut it out. So once you are done cutting your front, I'll switch it over to the back. Okay, so So this is my back now. I place my front on the back with my allowance for my zip. So this allowance which I have here is 2.5. So what I will do now is to get my measurement from the waist to the hip and from the hip to the knee. So if you could remember, my waist to my hip is 8 and my hip from my waist to my knee is 18. Since it is 18, I'm going to raise it up by 1 inch, come up by 1 to make it 17, because after sewing and folding it will sit back at that 18. If we cut it at that 18, after sewing and folding it will sit at 19, so you take it at 17. So what you are going to do now is to get your sewing allowance, which I have here, make here 1.5 for my zip allowance, connect it in at this point here. You can also make here, this person does not have a butt, so I make it straight, but she does not have a butt, so make it straight. It's not obvious, so make it like, but the person you are making for has butt, you are going to include this your half inch by connecting it like this from here to this part here, then connect it down just like this. You can see it has created that space for your butt. This half inch here has created that space for your butt, but this person does not have anything, so I'm going to make it straight like this. So what I have here, what is left here is for my slit at the back, so I'll go ahead to cut out. So you open your slit just like this. So after I'm done opening the slit, I'll go ahead to fold my lining. This is the lining which I'm going to use. You can see it's a machine lining, so let me go ahead to arrange my lining to cut out my fabric. Fold, that is what I have here. You can see my lining, and I place my fabric on the lining on fold exactly the same way. That is how we are going to cut it out. So I'll go ahead to cut it out exactly the same shape. So this is the same shape as you can see. So after cutting your full length, everything equally, what you are going to do for the lining is to minus 1 inch from your lining part now, so that it won't come out after sewing. So this is my 1 inch which I'm going to minus all the way down from here like this. Make sure if your hand is not straight, make sure you use your chalk and tape to get your 1 inch down to this end here. So this is all you need to do. Make sure your lining and your fabric is not the same. They are not the same. They must not be the same, because if you make it the same after sewing, your lining will come out from your fabric. So go ahead to do the back like that, and that is all I can show you for now. So see you in the next class. Thank you.